Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Guilds of Ravnica Draft here on the channel. Today we are going to be jumping into the competitive queues and using a strategy that was recently talked about on Limited Resources by Mike Sigrist, where he tries to draft blue, really biases towards the blue guilds, takes all the counterspells, like a lot of the counterspells that he can, and plays like almost any number of counterspells, and really just tries to play controlling strategies that can just win the late game with inevitability. So we're going to be trying that strategy out. And if you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to get updates for whenever I post new content. But without further ado, let's get into the draft. Okie doke. So our rare does not fit into this strategy. It is a Swiftblade Vindicator. It is a strong card, though. When Mike Sigrist was explaining the strategy, he did say that he would like to be in Boros more often, but he ended up being in it a little like fourth most because he does bias towards the blue cards. However, there aren't really any blue cards in this draft. He doesn't really prioritize white as heavily because white doesn't pair with blue in any capacity. But here, Swiftblade Vindicator is so much better than Lotleth Giant that we are still going to take it. Luminous Bonds in second place here, I think. But yeah, we still do have Swiftblade Vindicator first here. And who knows, we might not end up in the Sigrist strategy, but I thought it was worth mentioning regardless because it is something to keep in mind that he did go 6-0 at the Pro Tour drafting, and obviously some of that is probably variance. You have to get a little bit lucky to go 3-0 a lot of the time because there is a lot of variance in the card game, but it is still cool that he was willing to share his strategy, so I think it is nice to be thoughtful and listen and try to implement those strategies ourselves. Here, Skyblade Legionnaire. Sky-Knight Legionnaire is really like the reason to be in Boros, and there isn't anything for us in like any blue guilds. An uncommon is missing, so that could be really anything at this point. So yeah, pretty easy Sky-Knight Legionnaire here. I think after the Sky-Knight Legionnaire, I would take. Wow, this pack really drops off after that. Skyline Scout, Necrotic Wound are both like fine, nothing special. Probably, I don't even know, but Legionnaire is really nice to get. And here's where things start to fall off the rails a little bit. None of these cards are very good. I mean, Plaguecrafter's fine, but nothing exceptional. I don't like Boros Locket. Fire Urchin's pretty awful, in my opinion. There's no cards for Boros here, but there aren't really cards for any deck here. Plaguecrafter would be if I wanted to bias back towards the controlling side of the spectrum a little bit. I could take a Rebel Pelt Boar, but I don't really like Rebel Pelt Boar all that much. I think that you can get any, like really just any 4-drops you can just get them later if you are a Boros deck. So I think I would rather speculate on the stronger Plaguecrafter here. It could maybe steer me back towards a Dimir deck. Not that I'm like trying to jump off of my strong Boros cards, but I'm not really going to take a weak card just to stay on these colors. I can easily jump off ship here. I can jump off ship pretty late into a draft. That's another thing he was saying, is you can take a while to find the open archetype. Ooh, a Charnel Troll is a pretty powerful card. I've won a lot of games with Charnel Troll. It's really brutal when they play it against you, and they can have a couple creatures in their graveyard. Swarm Guildmage, I think I'm really disappointed in Swarm Guildmage as a card overall. It's like, sure, it's like got some nice upsides, but it is hard to cast, and it feels like Golgari in particular should have a way to get like creatures back from the graveyard. So if it was like 5 mana tap, get a creature back from your graveyard, it would drastically increase the strength of Golgari because Golgari decks would be able to get this card and it'd be a nice late game engine. It fits more flavorful. Like I don't understand what Menace has to do with Golgari. The life gain kind of makes sense because like I can kind of see the like stuff growing out of the dead stuff. I don't know, but here Charnel Troll is the clear pick for me. It works well with the Plaguecrafter. I can totally abandon my first 2 picks and be fine with it. Parhelion Patrol, it would be the card that I would take if I was going Boros, but it's not like insane. And I really like Charnel Troll. It's quite strong and works well with Plaguecrafter. Plaguecrafter can start fueling my graveyard early on. Citywide Bust is interesting as a rare. I don't think it really has a home in the format because it is pretty situational. I think you can sideboard it in if your opponent looks like they have a lot of cards that it hits and you are like maybe a deck like Boros where you're going underneath them, but I don't think it's a main deck card really a lot of the time. I mean, because it can hit your own stuff in a lot of decks. Just kind of tricky to get to work. Creeping Chill is unplayable. Join Shield is unplayable, just too expensive. Molder Hulk I think is a trap. It's just too hard to get this to work, and when you do, you get a 6/6. I mean, it just costs 9 mana, which is way too much. I know it costs cheaper, but if you have this in your opening hand, you can't really cast it. I think I like Burglar Rat more than Pitiless Gorgon, especially because you want to get on the board early. It works really well with Plague Crafter, just really good value. I don't love Pitiless Gorgon overall. I think it's fine, but I think Burglar Rat's a little bit better. Burglar Rat gets you a little bit of extra value. Here, it looks like Golgari are the colors that are open. We haven't seen a single card that's like really good for Dimir. That being said, we could still end up there. I just don't think it's happening. We haven't seen a single good blue card. So the guy to our right, this is where you can start thinking about what the guy to my right is probably playing. Looking at these cards, I mean, he's probably playing Izzet, if I had to guess. We haven't seen a great red card. All of the good like aggro cards we've seen have been gold cards. So he's probably playing Izzet, in my opinion, because we have seen a couple Leapfrogs, and the Sonic Assault is a little bit misleading. I think this pick is pretty easy. Pitiless Gorgon, though. It can keep us like mono black. We don't have to play green. We could play blue black still. Not that I'm like trying to jump in that direction, but it is still a possibility. Child of Night's not very good, and I don't think Hasda Marshall is really where we want to be given the spot we're at this draft right now. Okay, Glaive is interesting. So Glaive is a card that I was initially quite down on, and then I've seen some people playing with it, and the spot that I've seen people enjoying this card is in green decks that are very creature heavy, which Golgari tends to be, and you play Glaive as a like kind of a finisher, a mana sink, because it can just make your Burglar Rats like really scary if you have like 4 or 5 gates. You really want to have like 4 to 6 gates, ideally like 5 or 6. However, in this pack, Rhizome Lurcher is one of the better cards in Golgari. It's a non-bow with Charnel Troll, but they both like want you to fill your graveyard with creatures. Rhizome Lurcher is one of the best reasons to be Golgari. Seeing it this late is a bit of a signal that Golgari is open. We have been seeing a lot of Golgari, so I'm pretty happy to get a Rhizome Lurcher there. Whew, I was worried I didn't get it for a second. And here we're going to get another Rhizome Lurcher here. I think Lotless Giant is a fine top end. Like you can maybe play one of them, but I don't think it's like that good. And ideally you wouldn't play it. You just have Rhizome Lurchers instead. Rhizome Lurcher is quite good. I think Pax Favor is probably fine, but we just want to have all these nice payoffs for our graveyard. And at this point, we are playing Golgari. We just have so many good cards. We've been seeing open like signals. In 8th pick, I mean, Rhizome Lurcher is definitely a signal that Golgari is open. So we didn't get to show off the blue control decks that Mike Sigris likes, but we did stay open and did get to like talk about his strategy, which I think is important. Helps you out in your drafts, even if it doesn't like directly help me in this draft. He did say that he ends up playing Golgari more often than Boros, even though he thinks Boros is better, just because he biases towards the black cards, because the black cards can pair with blue. Here, it's an interesting pick between Generous Stray and Spinal Centipede. I think that Spinal Centipede's better. But I think I'm going to take Generous Stray. I just would rather, in this deck, have like a little guy that churns through my deck and can sacrifice for value, rather than the Spinal Centipede. And I think I can probably get Spinal Centipedes later. I think Generous Stray is nice because it can, like, I can get it killed off pretty easily to fuel my Rhizome Lurchers. It also just smooths my draws a little bit, and I think that's important in this type of deck when I have some strong big guys. Here, there's nothing really here for me. I'm going to take the, I guess I could take Undercity Uprising. I'll take the Locket. Maybe I'll open a blue card that I want to splash. Ooh, I'm very happy to see this. Vigor Spore Worm is one of the better cards for a Golgari deck. I'm pretty happy to get that, actually. Not looking for a Locket here. Really don't like Undercity Uprising, but Vigor Spore Worm is nice. I think Veiled Shade is fine, but I'd rather have Vigor Spore Worm. It's just another nice payoff for Undergrowth. It is going to be a little bit awkward when Charnel Troll eats some of the stuff in my graveyard, but Charnel Troll is strong enough on its own that it justifies making these guys a little bit worse. Here, I'm going to take the Undercity Uprising. Maybe I'll need to have some removal. Never Happened is quite nice. I think Moonmark Painter is a trap. You don't really want to play this because it's not good at all on its own. Whereas these cards, you can cast them as 4 mana 3/3s a lot of the time, or 4 mana 4/4s, and they're just dominant. Never Happened is quite a good sideboard card against Dimir decks. Golgari Locket, and another Golgari Locket. So, liking where I'm at right now. I have a couple of value creatures that I can sacrifice or trade off. Ooh. This card's great. It's basically a removal spell on a stick that you can draw later into the game. That's how I would view it. So I think I am going to take the Etrata here. The other options would be Devkir and Dissident. That's really the only other card that's good in this pack for my color combination. I think Citywatch Sphinx is fine. Like, it's a card that you could potentially splash in Golgari even, but if I was going to splash, I would splash the Etrata, I think, just because Etrata can be a removal spell, really threatening. It's a good body. So I think I would take the Etrata over the Citywatch Sphinx for sure. Devkir and Dissident. I would probably actually maybe splash Citywatch Sphinx too. But I think I'm going to take the Etrata here. It's just a nice card, good effect, and I have a Dimir Locket if I need that to help me splash, and I can just like prioritize taking a couple of gates. But Etrata is really nice. I don't have heavy mana requirements really either, which is nice. I'm liking the Generous Stray, helps smooth my draws out a little bit. But yeah, I think it goes Etrata, then City Watch Sphinx, then Devkrin Dissident, I think. So yeah, happy to pick up an Etrata here. Whoa, Crawler Pooner is quite nice. I love Crawler Pooner. Oh man, I could have had double that guy. Maniacal Rage combo. Oh man, I'm just kidding. Crawler Pooner is great. One of the best 2-drops in the format, quite honestly. Whenever they play a Healer's Hawk and you have a Crawler Pooner, you just feel so far ahead. It's just very hard to lose those games. There is a Vigor Spore Worm. I hope that Wheels comes back. Portcullis Vine would be another card that I would definitely play in this deck because it's nice to be able to. It's first of all, it smooths my draws, and when I say smooths my draws, it means like I draw through my deck faster to find the lands I need, to find the payoff spells, and also puts a creature in the graveyard to fuel like my various undergrowth cards. Crawler Pooner is just too good to pass up though. Watery Grave, you say? Watery Grave is quite nice, and I'm taking it over a Pax Favor. Actually, Necrotic Wound. Oh man, I have 10 creatures right now. Oh man, I think I want the Watery Grave, but Necrotic Wound is very tempting. So basically, Necrotic Wound is a like mid-game removal spell. Watery Grave is a easy way to splash my Etrata. I think I need to get fixing for the Etrata at some point in this draft. And Necrotic Wound is like fine, but nothing exceptional. I'm gonna take the Watery Grave. That's like an interesting pick. But I think being able to splash the Etrata is quite nice. And Glowspore Shaman is very good pickup. I was very pleasantly surprised with Oakwyn Assassin. I think this card's much better than it looked for me, at least. It's like kind of like an Etrata, but instead of being able to kill a creature and not die, it trades with a creature, but it also forces the other creatures to block it, making it easy to get in with your other big creatures. But Glowspore Shaman is like the most important card for Golgari because it's a 2-mana way to like fuel all of your undergrowth synergies. After Glowspore Shaman, I do want to say Unmoored Ego is unplayable. This is the type of card that a lot of people think might be good because you're like, oh, I can take their best card, but a lot of the time you'll miss with it, and even if you do hit the card out of their hand, they get to draw a card, so you put yourself down a card, and sometimes they won't have it in their hand, and you put yourself down a card for no reason, and even if you do hit the card, it's bad for you. So I'm going to take the Glowspore Shaman here. I think after that, I would take Oakwyn Assassin, then Gate over Worm maybe. I'm not sure on that one, though. It's close there. Okay, so this is more interesting. I think the Notion Rain is the type of card that you can splash in Golgari sometimes, but it's not really what I want to be doing here. Pitiless Gorgon is interesting as well because it is another creature, but I do want to be able to play this Etrata. Gateway Plaza lets me play the Etrata, so I think I'm going to go with Gateway Plaza, even though Golgari Guildgate is also appealing. Hmm. It's tricky though, because the Gateway Plaza is so much slower than the Gateway Plaza. I'll take the Gateway Plaza because I do really want to have access to blue mana on my off-color lands. Now I'll take a Severed Strands. Maybe I'll need the removal effect. I don't think Arboretum Elemental is playable. I tried playing it one time and it was horrific. I did have it in a very awkward draw, but I still just think it's not worth it. And yeah, Severed Strands could be a removal spell that I need. Ooh. This is a really interesting pick. Gatekeeper Gargle is a nice finisher for this type of deck because it doesn't often get access to evasion, but Burglar Rat is a really nice 2-drop. I think I'm going to take the Burglar Rat. I think I have enough finishers already with the 2 Rhizome Lurchers, the Charnel Troll, the Vigor Spore Worm, and Burglar Rat is just really, really nice in this type of deck. It can trade off, it can like chump block, it can do good work. Sprouting Renewal, not great. It basically, it's like a card you can sideboard in, but it doesn't fuel Undergrowth, so that's a pretty major downside, and then a lot of the time it's just a 3-mana 2/2. Choosing between that and Child of Night, though, I think I will take the Sprouting Renewal for the sideboard in case my opponent has cards like the Glaive. Here, I'll take a Dimir Guildgate. I don't love Urban Utopia, and I think Dimir Guildgate also helping me splash Etrata is really nice. Vigor Spore Worm came back. That's perfect. And I think that, maybe I'll take the Urban Utopia now. And, Portcullis Vine came back. This is a really, really good deck. So we probably will not end up playing the Urban Utopia. But it's nice to have all these sources for Etrata. and Glowspore Shaman can be kind of like fixing because it can get back one of the lands from our graveyard. And now I will take Mephitic Vapors over Veiled Shade. I do have a lot of creatures already, and Mephitic Vapors is a pretty unique effect, and it can single-handedly turn some matchups into your favor. So this is what my curve looks like right now. Maybe I will end up playing a Demure Locket. I still think the Gateway Plaza versus the Gate was pretty close, but I think I'll be able to deploy the Gateway Plaza a decent amount of the time, and it being able to help my cast my Trot is pretty important. I don't love Urban Utopia. It's just fluff, and you don't really want fluff in these decks. You just want, even your non like big payoff spells, you want them to just be creatures if you can. This pack is pretty bad for me. I don't want to play Lotleth Giant. I already have a couple of Vigor Spore Worms, and those are just better top end. Barrier of Bones is unplayable in my opinion. I never want to play that card. Prey Upon is like decent removal, especially with Rhizome Lurchers and Charnel Trolls. So that could be the pick. Also, Crushing Canopy is an option, but I think I'm going to take the Prey Upon. I do need some removal in this deck. Oh, goody. Holy smokes. Nobody is in Golgari. Underrealm Lynch is just a bomb. It's better than every, like, common and uncommon, I think. You just basically, like, it can't be killed by a lot of stuff. I mean, it can be killed by Artful Takedown, but most stuff can't kill it. It's just too good. This is an unbelievable pack, though. Underrealm Lich is a strong mythic rare. Price of Fame is probably the best uncommon, and Deadweight is probably the best common, and they're all in my colors. So this is actually a really tricky pick. But I do think I will win a lot of the games where I resolve an Underrealm Lich, and I think that Underrealm Lich just makes the rest of my deck insane, because milling a lot of my cards, I'll be able to find my Rhizome Lurchers and stuff. So I think Underrealm Lich is the pick here over Price of Fame and Deadweight, because those cards can like be really good, but this card can win you the game. Lasav, the Multifarious. This card is kind of interesting because it is a 2-drop, but being able to become a copy is really good. And it can become, but a lot of my creatures have entered the battlefields, and that's what makes them good. It's not really good with a lot of my guys. And it's kind of awkward to splash a 2-drop. I could just take a Dowser of Lights. Not really looking for Whisperer of Secrets in this deck. Wild Ceratok is also an option. Still very happy I took the Generous Stray. I think it's going to really smooth things out for me. Dowser of Lights or Wild Ceratok? I'm going to take the Dowser of Lights, and here's why. I think I'm going to play a Locket in this deck, and I think that will really help me out. Just to hit my top-end cards a little bit early, because if I play this on turn 4, it's just game over. Okay, this pick is interesting. I don't think Undercity Necrolisc is, like, insane. I think it's, like, playable in some decks, but, like, pretty bad. Burglar Rat is a great card, and Hired Poisoner is also really nice, especially for stabilizing. I wouldn't mind if the Generous Stray wheeled. The Golgari Guildgate's a little bit tempting, but not a card I'm going to take here. So it's definitely between Hired Poisoner and Burglar Rat for me. I'm going to take the Hired Poisoner. I think the Hired Poisoner can just really stabilize the ground for you in a way that few other cards can. And now an easy Death Green Dissident. I'm really happy to get another 2-drop. Pitiless Gorgon or Veiled Shade. I'm going to take the Pitiless Gorgon. It's just easier to cast. It doesn't need mana sunk into it. Crawl Foragers is great. That life gain can really come in clutch. The Gate is tempting, though. Those are the two cards I'm choosing between here. The Gate could potentially make it easier to splash the stuff I'm casting. But the life gain is a pretty unique effect here. And I just think I need the life gain. This life gain is going to be really important. I think it's just going to be... This deck is really good, I think. So now the question is, do I play a Golgari Locket or a Demure Locket? Probably Demure Locket. Oh my gosh, another Crawl Foragers. Sign me up. Definitely going to play that over a Dowser of Lights. And now Crushing Canopy. I don't need a Lotleth Giant, but Crushing Canopy could be really important. Especially, I think I'm going to sideboard it, but I think it's really nice to have that access type. Oh my gosh, Deadweight came back. Oh my goodness. I am the only black drafter at this entire table. Probably the only Golgari draft. Look at this. All these cards are Golgari cards, pretty much. Iron Shell Beetle's nice, but Deadweight is just premium, so easily taking that. Wild Ceratok came back. We'll take that. We have a lot of decisions to make here. We had a pretty tricky draft, I think. But we emerged. And Generous Stray came back. I'm really happy to get a Generous Stray here. As I said, it'll smooth my draws out. Help me find the stuff I need. It can jump block, make my Rhizome Lurchers bigger, find me my lands. Maybe I don't want to run a... maybe I don't want to run the Locket after all. Is a Trotta even worth splashing is the question. That is indeed the question. I think it is. I mean, I will have hands where I can't cast her, but my mana's pretty easy in this deck. She's fine in the late game. And I do need removal spells. I only have 2. So Dowser's not going to get in over a Crawl Forgers. So these are 3 lands, so I need to make 1 cut, it looks like. But I do want to add a Dimir Locket, I think, because I do have a decent amount of top end. And it helps me cast a Trotta as well. And then I don't have to run an island even. Because I'll have 4 sources of blue mana. What do I want to cut here? Probably the Wild Ceratok. And then what else do I cut? Probably a Pitiless Gorgon. I like Generous Stray over Pitiless Gorgon, I think, just so I can find my strong cards. And have a good thing to sack to Plague Crafter. I love this curve here. I don't like the Locket, actually. I'm just going to play the Gorgon, play these 3 lands. So I have these 3 lands. Add basics. These 2 also make black mana. Okay, so I really want to have a high number of both sources. So I think I want 8 forests. And that gives me 8, 14, 15, 18 lands. So this will give me, I think I'm going to cut that. This is a little bit greedy, but 8, 14, 17. That'll give me 8 sources of each. The Gateway Plaza. Sort by color, let's see. Yeah, I have a lot of green cards. These are both colors, so yeah. So that gives me 3 sources for my splash card. Locket or Pitiless Gorgon. I think I'm going to play the Locket. I think this is going to be the deck. Looks good. Definitely strong. I think I was like the only drafter in my colors, so that really helps. But I hope you will enjoy the draft. Leave any questions you have in the comments, and I hope you'll stay with me for the matches. Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to round 1 with my broken Golgari deck. This is a nice hand we're going to keep. I think the Dimir Locket was definitely the right choice, just because I have some decent like top end, and I have a lot of relatively expensive cards that are nice to cast a little bit early. The Locket just fits on multiple levels there. Poisoner into Rat. Feeling confident. Just have to make sure I play perfectly, because you can't afford to make any mistakes when you're playing in super high competition. This is pretty ideal. I'm definitely glad I have the hired Poisoner over the Rat, I think. The third Rat. Just gives you some diversity, some stuff to do. He kept his hand. Maybe it was a sketchy hand. Ooh. Definitely glad I have the hired Poisoner now. It's really good against red decks. The aggressive decks, it'll just trade with one of their guys for sure, almost. And hitting that land is pretty clutch. Hit him for 1. Play that Burglar Rat. make him discard. Burglar Rat's also really good against the like smaller decks because a lot of the times it can trade with their guys. Ooh, is it? Looks like. I was hoping it was Boros, but can't always get what you want. Okay. Would I be happy trading a hired poisoner for a fire urchin? Probably not. We're just gonna play the locket and pass. We're gonna get our crawl foragers online. Wall of Mist, okay. My Prey Upon can take that one down. We're just going to slam our Crawl Foragers here. Just get that guy out onto the battlefield is nice. And we do have another one if we need the life later. Looks like opponent's just holding up mana. So that could be Whisper Agent, it could be Devious Cover-Up. This needs 4 mana. I always miss-see that. I don't know why, but I do. So here, we are going to play a Generous Stray. That would have been really bad tapping. If he Devious Cover-Ups it, it's not the end of the world. It's just a 1-for-1. Let's just play the second one and then we'll pass. Don't really have any attacks right now. Ooh, Rhizome Lurcher. I still don't think we want to attack. Next turn, maybe once he taps out, he probably has Chemistry's Insight or something. But Rhizome Lurcher really makes me want to get rid of some of my creatures. Capture Sphere, okay. That's fine. Okay, so I can play this and crack my Locket, which is nice. I think I'm just going to send in the Goons, though. Start making some trades. He could have a Whisper Agent, but then it would just eat one of my guys. Wouldn't be the end of the world. And I would get another guy into the graveyard for Rhizome Lurcher. That's fine for me. Getting creatures into the graveyard is nice. Yes, pay the life. Pass. So he doesn't want to trade with my hired poisoner with his fire urchin. Okay. So we will have to prey upon... Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, that's really bad. Okay, so we can kill it. So he's just going to kill this thing for free now. That's why he didn't want to trade. Oh, he's willing to trade now. Interesting. I think we're going to have to 2-for-1 ourselves here. Actually, no, we don't. Vigor Spore warm up by this guy. Prey upon to kill the Niv Mizzet. So he does draw an extra card, but we're still in great shape here because we did kill the Niv Mizzet. And we have a Vigorous Boreworm in play. And Rhizome Lurch is only getting bigger. I wish that he blocked. That's why I attacked first, because then I could have got more creatures into my graveyard. Oh, he pinged it, so it would go to the graveyard. I don't know why you do that, but that seems like a bad choice. So, Biggest Boreworm's going to trade with Piston Fist. Then I'll have a massive Rhizome Lurcher. So he's holding up a counterspell. That works for me. I want this guy to get into the graveyard. I'm not actually going to cast my Rhizome Lurcher into the counterspell. I'm just going to go Portcullis Vine. Glowspore Shaman. Glowspore Shaman's a good attacker into the Piston Fist. Nope. He's holding up 3 mana, and he has 3 cards in hand. It's pretty likely that he could have cast something there, but he's holding up a counterspell. Electromancer. So yeah, he's holding up a counterspell for sure. Pretty likely. Okay. Combat. Don't want to leave myself too exposed. Okay. Let's crack this guy. See what we find. I should have played the land. I don't really have any reason not to. I don't really have a reason to, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I do have a pretty big reason to, because I could then cast double Rhizome Lurcher. I'll let him hit me. I'll let him draw it back. Ooh, that's a good draw. So he's just holding up counter spells here. So we'll get him for 1, play a Devkern Dissident. If he counters Devkern Dissident, then we can play a Rhizome Lurcher. But it looks like he's not. Okay, Rampaging Monument. Sure. Still holding up that counterspell. Two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this guy can pump up 1 time, but he'll just block it with Wall of Mist. What gold card could he have? He could have Ionize. He could have... Six, 7, 8. Let's just play a Rhizome Lurcher, play a second Rhizome Lurcher. He can't counter both. Oh my gosh. He was bluffing the counter spell. I still think it was correct to play around it, but dang. He was bluffing that so hard because he had nothing. Jesus. Oh my gosh. I'm glad we went for it. Because it was definitely awkward for him to pretend to have a counter spell because he was holding up 3 extra mana every turn, so he couldn't just cast his spells. Definitely nice to have a couple 9/9s though. Wow. He's just he's in such bad shape. I don't know why he would try to kill the Krell Foragers. It doesn't make a huge difference necessarily, but okay, and these are lethal on their own. Oh man. So let's just attack with everything. He has to chump these two, so makes me feel more confident attacking all out. These blocks aren't too favorable. Okay, so he probably has a bounce spell for this guy then. Yep, that's unfortunate. I'm not going to pump the Death Queen Dissident. I just want to go to damage. Hypothesis, that's unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. That would have been really well played by him. He was hoping I would go for the pump, not be able to replay my Rhizome Lurcher. Definitely unfortunate how that worked out. Maybe I was just supposed to attack with Rhizome Lurchers. Yeah, no reason to play this now. I don't have any like card draws in my deck. Now it's a 12-12, I guess. Is it Locket? Sure. Watcher in the Mist, okay. I can just attack everything. He has to chump my two guys. It's just the double Abyss. He can't afford a triple block because he has to put a guy in front of that. Abyss is a card that makes your opponent sacrifice a creature every turn. Getting rid of those Leapfrogs and Mesmerists. Okay, let's just attack with everything. If he trades off all of his creatures, I'm pretty happy about it. Did I put myself dead to some combination of cards? I don't think so. He only has 4 mana. 5 mana now. Okay, we Dragonauts. Going to be on chump block duty, presumably. Pass Wall Adept. Okay. So maybe next turn I won't attack with my Pitiless Gorgon. He has to attack with Rampaging Monument here. Yep. Ooh, that was a good one. Jump, jump. I'll just double block Rampaging Monument at this point. Oh no. I just lost. Oh my god, no. I can't believe it. Oh my god. I can't believe I lost that game. Wow, I totally messed that up, I guess. Holy smokes. Well, we're going to bring in this last Pitiless Gorgon. Wow. Wow, I blew it. I blew that so hard. I'm going to take out a Generous Stray. Oh my gosh. Gonna bring Crushing Canopy, I think. Wow, that was unbelievably bad. Wow. All I had to do was not attack with my guy that turn before. Exact damage. Ugh. I think attacking with the two Rhizome Lurches every turn was correct, but I don't understand. Oh my gosh. Keeping. Jesus, that was so bad. Focus. Focus. Wow. He probably had this assault the whole time. I doubt he top decked it, but put more pressure on him. No, we don't want to land. Wow. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Ooh, this could be good for us. Very good. Piston Fist, okay. We don't really care about that. The downside definitely comes if he puts a Capture Sphere on my guy. But then I can Crushing Canopy it, so not even a big downside. I think I'm going to hold the Burglar Rat to pump my guy. Because don't want to run out of fuel, as they say. Wow, that last game. I mean, that one attack that got blown out by Unexplained Disappearance. Could have just held back a Generous Stray. So he definitely has it. Maybe he doesn't have it. Definitely prepared to sacrifice this Burglar Rat for the greater good. How do I want to play this? Definitely discarding the Burglar Rat. And then hoping to draw a creature of some kind. I have, like, a bunch of creatures in my deck. It's going to be an 8/8. You can't double block it. I think I just killed that. Please draw a creature, I swear. Yes! Hmm. Right. Hmm. If he doesn't block, I kill him. Whew. Got game 2. Kind of cheesed it, but such is life. Okay, I think I definitely want Never Happened. I just remembered he had Niv Mizzet in his deck. Don't want Severed Strands, though. Never Happened's coming in, though. Before Never Happened, I'm going to cut Porkless Vine. I don't need it against the early aggression. So what do I want in here, maybe? What are the cards I'm considering? Those are the ones mostly. I could cut Generous Stray for sure. But I think I want it to just help me slip through my deck a little quicker. This is a keep, but it's a bad one. Just doesn't have as much gas as you want. That doesn't really help. I can't really even crack it for stuff. If he plays a Goblin Electromancer, I'm definitely just killing it. Gonna play all of my black sources because maybe that'll let me crack my locket earlier. He has a Niv Mizzet that I can't beat. Do I even care about Wee Dragonauts? Just gonna cast Burglar Rat. I think I have to hold the Crushing Canopy for now. He also has much better flyers. He's just gonna chip me at me for 1 in the air for a couple turns. Ew, Sonic Assault. Good to know about. Represents 5 damage with Wee Dragonauts. Can I beat Niv Mizzet? He hits me for a couple turns. Yeah, I can definitely beat it. Do I just play this as a 2-2? No, there's no way that's correct. I'm gonna go with the Locket. Oh man, losing that game 1 really hurts. Oh gosh. I also played a forest instead of a swamp, which could cost me 2. But only if I draw another land here, which, I mean, I'm not going to draw another land. Lands are for suckers. Oh my gosh. Maximum punished. Oh my gosh. I deserve it, but oh, it feels so bad. I could have cracked it on my turn. As it is, I'm suffering. I even said it at the beginning of the game. And I also said I had to play flawlessly to win, but I think he has Niv Mizzet. He's just done nothing. He probably has like all lands in Niv Mizzet. Chipping away. I don't like it. Not one bit. Ooh, that was a good draw. He has to decide whether to counter it. Okay, so he's going to devious cover up that. He has Niv Mizzet. He's got to. Here he comes. The Niv Mizzet you've all been waiting for. He knows I don't have good ways to kill it either. So if he has it, he'd probably play it here. Keep passing. Now I can crack Demir Locket. Let's go. Bring it on, Niv Mizzet. I have my Crushing Canopy ready. Yep. What? No! Oh, that's so bad for me. He was saving it. Troll Harpooner. Instant sorcery spell. Okay, so I can... Oh, I can just eat that. Oh, that's really good. So he gets some value here. But I have to do it. And then I can eat this guy for free. So I get the 2-for-1 back. So he's drawn a couple of extra cards, but I killed the Niv Mizzet. I have a decent board state. And I can kill that with my deadweight. Big draw step here, though. If I draw a big spell, I can win this game. One of my 6/4s would be nice. I saved it. I saved that Crushing Canopy all game, and then I drew the Crawl Harpooner to kill that Wee Dragonauts. Ooh, that was sweet. That's a big draw step, too. Big time draw step. Gonna go with the deadweight first. See if I can get that out of the way. Perfect. Crawl forward just sets me up for lethal next turn. Okay. So I'll gain 1 life. I think getting the bigger body down is important. Puts him on a 2-turn clock. Electrostatic field. Okay. So he has 2 damage, 4 damage. because of these two. So I'm at a functional 8. But I can still attack into it. That's why it's much better to play this guy than the Rhizome Lurcher. I need a big draw here. Big time draw. He's probably going to Sonic Assault my guy. I'm worried about what's in his hand. Electrostatic Field could be a lot of damage. Though these cards do cost cards, so keep that in mind too. Oh, man. Okay, Generous Stray. Gonna cast that before combat. Big draw. Come on, Atrada. That was not what I wanted. Yep, Sonic Assault. Okay, 10 life. You can block this. Take 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. To play Rhizome Lurcher or not to play Rhizome Lurcher? I'm going to play it. He doesn't have a counterspell. Just instantly resolved. And I got rid of this thing, so my life total is pretty much what it's going to be at. Now removal spell's lethal. So if I draw my Prey upon, he's dead. Any creature from him is terrifying because I can't block it because of this maximize altitude. Okay, that's the least terrifying one because it only has 1 power. Still going to be able to attack with these two guys. My other two guys will just get blocked. So this will become a 3-powered creature, and this is going to be 1 extra. So I'm at a functional 5. Oh no. Oh, he messed that up. Potentially. Big draw here. No! You've got to be kidding me, deck! No, no, no! Oh my gosh. No! Oh, we lost this game. I can't believe it. He's baiting me. There's no way he jump blocks here. Unless he has deal 6 to my face. What? He's got to have deal 6 to my face. No other reason to do that. Wow! Oh, that's so painful. We could have won game 1 if we'd held back a blocker. Though that means we might not have won game 2, but still. Oh, this game was so painful. If I'd drawn a spell in like these past couple turns. Oh man, I just drew too many lands. And I think I played this game really well. I think the first game was the one I could have improved upon. But I did draw 11 lands. Oh my gosh. Wow. Dang. Well, anyway, that is the dangers of making one small misplay. Is you get punished and lose. But anyway, we could have definitely won that if we had drawn slightly better. Feels a little bit bad to have 6 lands, 13 spells in my deck, but that's just me in my semi-tilted state after that loss. I played that last game really well, I think. Definitely not deserved, but could have easily won that. If I'd like hit a Vigor Spore Worm there instead of a Forest, or had a couple more creatures in my graveyard for the Crawl Forgers, or overall just drawn a little bit better, I could have won. Game 1, we definitely could have won if I had not attacked as aggressively. I should have thought of the only possible ways I lose that game, which is if he Sonic Assaults me. But he drew like the Sonic Assaults, and he had a couple chump block creatures. I just needed to not attack with the that one turn where I attacked with the Pitiless Gorgon. I just needed to not attack with that so that he couldn't bash me with his guy and hit me for that extra damage. But I was so overconfident and I lost because of it. But anyway, that's going to do it for this draft video. I hope you enjoyed it despite the loss. And yeah, it's pretty disappointing. But we'll get him next time, and I will talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed it.